Today I'm going to talk about three external modules. They're pretty simple, but I feel like they add some functionality that people might be interested in. So the first one here is the custom footer demo. The custom footer external module allows you to add a custom footer to the bottom of your survey. So I just have a generic, this is the demographics template that we have in REDCap. So if I go to the survey here and just open up the survey link, down here at the bottom you'll see just powered by REDCap. That's the footer that's default in the system. And so this custom footer demo allows you to add anything you want down here, any HTML to the bottom of your survey. So it could be an email hyperlink, it could be a link to your website, it could be an image, an icon for your project or your corporation or your group or whatever. So let me go to the designer here, or the external modules, and it's enabled. Now this footer module allows us in REDCap, the administrators in REDCap, to create a system-wide footer. So if Terry wanted to add the CB2 logo down at the bottom of everybody's surveys, we could do that in our own configuration module in our control center here. And then you as users could overwrite those settings. So that's what these are here. So override system settings for these project data entry pages and for the survey pages. And then if you want your footer to be above our system footer or below, you would select these. Right now we don't have a custom footer, so these are irrelevant. So the first thing we want to do is we want to decide whether we want our footer to display on the project data entry pages or the survey pages or both. Now, for the survey pages, the footer shows up at the bottom of the page, but in the data entry page, it actually shows up here on the side where you see Contact REDCap Administrator. It actually pops up at the bottom of this menu on the left here. So that's where the footer appears for the data entry pages. So if we say both, and then you can have it set to where whatever you have at the bottom of your footer in your survey is the same as what you have in your data entry pages, or you could have it different. So right now I have some text, some HTML that I've created, and all this is going to do is create a div label that has our CB2 logo on it, and a hyperlink that when you click on it, it takes it to the CB2 page. And this top one here is the one for the project data entry pages. And the only difference between these two is the size. So if you look here, the width for the project data entry pages is 270 pixels, and the survey page is 798. So that's the width of each of these little areas. So for this menu, the width of that is 270, and the width of the server window is 798. So everything else is the same except for the sizes. So I'm just going to put those in and hit save. And now you'll see here at the bottom of our, let me see if we can move it here. On the bottom of the menu, let me open this up so it'll allow me to scroll. There you go. So now at the bottom of the menu, you'll see that we have our logo here, and if I click on it, it opens and takes us to our REDCap page. And then if I open this up as a survey, and we scroll down to the bottom, it shows the link for our logo, and if I click on it again, it takes us to the REDCap page. So you can have anything you want down here at the bottom, as long as it's HTML. So if you just wanted, text, if I just got rid of this, within the div. Like I said, this is so now that text is within that div. And the div, the reason it's showing up white like this is because I have that div container. If I take that out and just write it'll pop up just as plain text like the powered by REDCap. So you don't have to get fancy. If you just wanted, the name of your group there, or even if you wanted an email address that said, for help filling out the survey, contact this person here at this email address, you could put that in for your custom footer. So that's all that is. That's all there is for that external module. It's fairly simple. It can get more complicated depending on how crazy you want to get with your HTML, but it can be very simple as well.
Hey Manuel.
Yes.
To get rid of that powered by REDCap, would you be able to use CSS injector to do that?
Yeah, you should be able to. So let's go to the survey distribution here. So it would be this footer. This div. So right here, it says that if I highlight on that, it says that the display is inline block. So if I change that to none, then that goes away here. So what I would do is I just have to create this rule. Let me go back to my external modules.
I want to comment just to make sure people, if you haven't heard this already, that we did change the settings. A new module came out which allows us to show you almost all the external modules that are available to you, and you can enable them yourself. So I just wanted you to know that that's available. Thanks, Mary.
Yeah, I would have to figure out which rule that is, but if you saw that here, when I go into the inspect for this div and let me make sure I got it spelled out. Oh, that's why it's not working. I have DM instead of SM.
And I don't really need to put you on the spot here to come up with this. This is pretty cool that you can just play around with it like, oh, look at that. Nice. But it's good to know. I did have someone ask me last week about footers and if they wanted to customize them, and although they weren't part of our network, and I have no idea what their access to external modules was, I did recommend that they check this out. So this is neat.
Yeah, you can get pretty creative with it.